We'll wait for two more minutes. Okay. Did everyone clone my GitHub repository? Everyone have this in your local? This repo? If not, do this right now. Git in your command prompt or in VS Code terminal, write git clone and write that URL. This one. Do this right. If you already have, then do go to that repository and do git pull origin main, because I have updated the code, added one more folder, so that changes will come to your local system. What's up? Yeah. Is it done? Anyway, it's fine. Okay, ನೀವು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಬಟನ್ ಸಿಗೋಣ. मैं एक्स्ट्रा कोड इधर लास्ट पुश करना ತಿರುಗಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು ಗಿಟ್ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ இப்போ இது பண்ண சொல்றாங்க. இந்த ஃபோல்டர்ல சாரி இந்த ரெப்போல ஒரு ஃபோல்டர்ல பாருங்க டே 15 சொல்லிட்டு அதுல ஒரு கமெண்ட் இருக்கு. இதுக்கு காம்பினேஷன். So you just do it. Is it done? Any issues? Need some time? Now open this folder in VS Code. Your VS Code should look like this. Like this. Should have a practicals here. Then it is open that folder in VS Code. Open folder. Go to that path. Wherever you have to go to that path. Open folder. If you have no clue, just click on files, click on open folder. Then this will be popped up. Just click on whichever folder you have created. Reopening. Try to open as an administrator. Then open BGM. I mean, still, I also faced the same issue. Just reopen again. Can look at error to that. Mostly by opening again it will be fixed. Then open BGM. Everyone open BGM. It will take some time. Few people might get error. Maybe your installation is wrong. See, I have that folder. Try to reinstall. Was just install. Focus CMD and my PSP. Yeah, anybody else? Any issues? Yeah. Always on the till get to practice one. Because minimize will be less. So you have to create one by all hitting one, not hitting one, right? Now what you can do is you hit add all, hit commit and hit add all, hit commit message, the command you first. Go to this, inside this, reading cycles, practicals. Open that practical. You have to do something. Check where it is again. Mostly it will be in the program files. You have to go there, find where bit is there. Inside that bin will be there. Copy that and paste in anyone. Okay. I mean, just now you upload, right? So everything you will get. It is my repository. It's not how to so there's a different concept called code and stuff like that. If you want to do something, just go to your file explorer, copy the entire repository, paste it somewhere else. Then you can connect with your it's a different concept. You have to go little depth. Fourth, we have different method also. Easiest method I will say, go to my GitHub, download as a zip. Okay, then you can. So now if you do something here, it won't connect with your Then if I do some changes, push it there, if you pull, then changes you can see. So right now this is about my repository. It has nothing to do with your. Is it solved? Solved.
Almost there, bro.
Don't have any remote repository, but you have to create a remote repository. Get one link, open GitHub, create one new repository. Okay, after create one link, that you have to add here. Git add origin, let command is there. create a repository. Okay. So let's start the class. Meanwhile, you can install if you are not installed. Okay. Did you put it to download? Okay. Any other issues? Nothing, right? Okay. So now tell me, guys, where do our Python program or Python objects will be residing? Where it will be stored when we run the project? When we run the code, where it will be stored? Python objects or any data? Huh? Sorry? RAM, yeah, correct. So Python program will be running in the RAM. RAM is a volatile memory, we say that. Volatile means lifespan is very less. Even if you switch off the laptop, the RAM will be completely cleaned. You can't get the data here. Okay. All the program Python files will be running in RAM only. This type of storage is not permanent. We need something permanent to store the data, right? So best way to store data systematically in a very structured manner is by using database. Okay. So we have lots of database. In that, very popular one is PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL is a database. When I say database, I can highly classify into two categories. One is SQL based database, one is NoSQL based database. Okay. Just have to understand, SQL is very strict, very structured manner. So many properties will be there. Okay. The table will be fixed. You can put some rules, you can put some constraints. Okay. So that is SQL. Very systematic, orthodox way. It's very orthodox. Okay. But NoSQL won't be having fixed structure. It can be having any structure. A table can, one table, in one table only can have, for one row it can have 4 fields, another row can have 5 fields. So completely loose structure. Okay. Loosely structured. This is highly structured. In SQL based database, we define once. At the beginning only we say this is how my table should look like. All the data, all the rows should follow that rule. Okay. But in NoSQL, anything can be done. Anything can be done. Okay. There is no fixed structure at all. So choosing between SQL based database or NoSQL based database completely depend on what is your purpose. Okay. So based on the purpose, we choose the database. And if you want me to give an SQL example, all the banking software will be using this one. Banking software. Because rules are fixed, structured. And in SQL based database, one table will be having relationship with the multiple databases, multiple tables. Okay. If you need that kind of structure, then you have to go to SQL based one. For NoSQL, I can say chat application. Comment section. Or in Amazon, orders data. Whatever you see in the home pages, right? All those are semi-structured or no structured. I mean, one order might be having 5 fields, another might be having 6 fields, different type of product Amazon has, right? So to store that kind of data, NoSQL is more than enough. If you need proper structure, for example, if you have a user table and it's connected with customers, whether it's connected to loans, whether it's connected to your bank accounts, all that needs very structured, right? Structured data. So there we use SQL. Most of the application will be using this only. PostgreSQL will come under this type of database. Okay. This is hard to learn. This is easy to learn. This is fast. This is slow. Okay. If you want your table to connect it with different tables, then go to this. If you don't want any relationships, then go to this. Okay, very simple. So when you build application, no, you have to make this decision whether my app should have SQL based database or no SQL based database or both, depending on what it is. Okay. Few application uses both depending on what their purpose is. Now let's focus on only this. Okay. In the name itself, it says it's a structured query language. Okay. This structured, when I say this structured, yes. It has multiple meaning. So majorly what I mean is table is I can say it's fixed. Okay. Once I fix the table, data should follow that rule. It can't go beyond that. It will throw some errors. So one more thing is connected to different table. NoSQL can't do that. Okay, it can't connect with different table. So there is no joins and all in that. When we need this kind of when we have this kind of data, then we have to go to SQL based database. In SQL based database, PostgreSQL I would rank number 1. Okay, so that's why we are learning this. Another one alternative is MySQL, obviously. Okay. Now, when we install PostgreSQL in our local system, we are installing a database. Okay, that data will be stored permanently in your disks. Okay. You can connect your Python programs to the database. Whatever data we store in the database, it will be stored in disk. That's why it is permanent. Okay. Yeah. Then what is pgadmin? In order to deal with this database called PostgreSQL, you have two options. Okay, one, you have to deal with command line, either with CMD or with pgadmin, in order to connect with your database. This is a boring way to do it, but still you have to know few basic commands. pgadmin is like a built-in GUI, graphical user interface. Okay. Just that it will be having multiple buttons here and there to create a table, create a database, delete it, edit it. Okay, you don't have to know the commands. Then you can use pgadmin. I prefer pgadmin. Okay, because no need to. There you can visualize things. Whenever I say GUI, you can visualize. So you have to know at least basics. Buttons or basic things which are exist in pgadmin. Where I should go, where can I find these things, where can I find these things, that we will learn in this class. Okay. Command line, basic commands you should know: how to create a database, how to list the databases, how to list the tables, how to create rows in the table, right? So basic commands you should know. So what if I say, in our OOPS class, we have already, one more thing, I forgot to tell you guys. Our goal is, to build Google Forms. This is our end goal. I actually started that in the OOPS class only. You might have noticed that I have created the class called questions, users and test, right? So that's from there the story starts. At the end, from tomorrow's class we will be starting Django. So I have started seeding this thing way before only. Our end goal is we will be building Google Forms. Okay. So in Google Forms, especially I want to make it specifically to take online test. Okay. If I have to build a system, if I have to build a software or build a website that allows one thing, that allows teachers to create test. Second thing, allows students to take test. So our project has two purposes. One, teachers should be allowed to create the test. Second purpose is, after creating it, after publishing it, after creating all the questions, options, whatever, okay, students should be able to take the test. This is the software we're gonna build in Django. Okay. So, what if I tell you, we already know what is class, we already know what is object, we already know what is attributes. What if I tell you this concept is directly linked with database concept? Okay, I'll tell you how. The class, I said it's a blueprint, right? So this concept I can directly apply and tell class is directly linked with table. Class means table. Every table is like it will be having a blueprint. Whatever data under the table has, it will follow this class, that template, right? And the attributes, let's say these are all columns. Where the attribute presents, it will be present inside the class, right? Inside the init function, we write the attributes, right? So in the table, let's say I have a table here, a table called user. Okay. what the table contains? Table contains two things. One is row, one is column. Table contains two things, row and column. So the column, every table will contain a column called ID. This is unique. This cannot be null. What is null? Empty, no data at all. Okay. This column cannot contain null values, and this column should be unique. When I say unique, in the entire table, the values should be unique in this column. If I have a continuous numbers as a rule for ID, if it is 1, it should be 2, 3, 4, auto incrementing. I cannot again have 1 here. Okay, that is so there is a concept called constraints. Okay, so when I say constraint, I am setting a rule for that particular table, for that particular column. I am saying this is how you should be. One of the example is that this column should be unique. That is one of the constraint. It's a rule I am saying to that. Each column will be having constraint. One more example is the username should be maximum 10 characters only. That is one of the constraint. So database, it's a database term. Okay. So when I say constraints are rules. Okay. So we have an ID for a user table. Name will be there, correct? User type will be there. So these are all column. This one column, the second column, third column, fourth column. These are all called rows. First row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. Okay. Each row, we can say it is one object. Because each row will follow this template. What object does? Object will be following whatever the class has. That template it will follow. Similarly, each row will follow what each row will be almost same. It will be following one same blueprint. So that's why we can say each row is like a object, entire table is like a class, each column is like an attribute. This is how we can connect through different concepts. Okay. So now, and one more thing, in each column we have to specifically mention what data type it should be. Okay, that you have to remember. Whether it may be int, whether it may be a string. In database there is no string, we call it varchar. Okay? And we have a boolean, we have a date time. We have different data types that we will see later. Okay, this is the basic concept of table. So where does this table exist? It will exist inside a database. Okay, database will come first. Inside database, tables will be there. Inside tables, data will be there. Data also we can say columns or attributes, meters. So database comes first. In in one system, this is my laptop, I have PostgreSQL installed. In one laptop, how many database can we create? Yeah? Yeah, we can create as many as we want, right? So there is no fixed count unless our database, unless our storage allows, right? If we have enough storage, till that much we can create a database. Okay. Let's say I have database 1, database 2, database 3. Whatever this database tables have inside, it doesn't know what different database does. These are like completely independent to each other. Okay, that you have to remember. Now open command prompt. Open command prompt and write PSQL menu Postgres. That first line. Any errors? Few might get error, few might not. Whatever password you have entered while installing, that you have to enter after it asks password. One more very key concept, very important thing you have to remember. So database will be there, users will be there. This users is directly connected with PostgreSQL. Okay, Postgres will be having users. Postgres will also be having database. Most of the people will get confused. Most of the developers also don't know this concept. They assume that database has passwords. Database doesn't have password. Okay, database will be having the owners. One database will be having at least one owner. That owner will be having a password. So whenever we connecting to the database, we should know what that database owner's username and password. To connect to any database, we should know its owner's credential. Database doesn't have the password and username. It will be having a owner. That owner will be having username and password. That we should remember. So by default, when we are installing, one user will be automatically created. That username is Postgres. Whatever password we have given while installing, that will be a password. PSQL. Okay. So if you are getting error, PSQL is not recognized. Okay. Do this. Go to program files or wherever you have installed program files. Inside that PostgreSQL will be there. Inside that the number will be there 16, 17, 18. Click on 18. Inside that click on bin. Inside that copy the path of bin. Open environment variables. Edit path. System path is preferred. Add new path. paste it there. Then reopen CMD and it will be fine. Do this. It's not visible. Just type it. Why this one you just have to do that? But if you only use for PZadmin, suppose just only use for you have to use for PostgreSQL. Then you install PostgreSQL. When you install PostgreSQL, last one. You remember the password? You're typing that one. This time you can't try, right? So either you are forgotten or something. No, you just PSQL. It will take you different. PSQL and when you know Postgres. Yeah. Yeah, suppose not here.
Maybe you have to have
System Is it connected? We're all connected. Just type /lc will list of databases that is already exist. By default, 2, 3 will be there. Show me the path. Not that part. Just go there and text flash. Yeah, are you able to see the list of databases? No? Nothing is coming? It's okay. What is that? No, I just explained. Still getting the same thing. Open the. Did you close and reopen? Good. Once this is done, close the CMD and reopen again. Yeah. Is it coming? PSQL-U Postgres. Like slash slash not slash. Just forward slash. Forward slash. Now parallelly open pgAdmin. Don't close CMD. Parallelly open pgAdmin. Just tell me if you are able to see this. If not, I will say what to do. What tell you? Are you able to see? Just click on this one. Open pgAdmin. If you expand this, you should be able to see one here. One Postgres. So by default, when you install PostgreSQL, one default database will be there already. Let's ignore it, okay? Okay. Now let's create a database through command line. This is the command. Create database, whatever name you want to give, just give. Once it is created, go back to pgAdmin, refresh it. This name should come there. Go here, click on this, refresh. Create database, create database. That's what you do. You have to just write it. Try this. Try reopening it. You still feel like you have to reach. Try reopening it. Can you put access to command prompt? Yes, is coming. Open to it. Now go back to pgAdmin, refresh it. There you should be able to see this thing. semicolon. Semicolon. I mean, until you give semicolon, you will be watching many videos. Just give semicolon. This is like until you give semicolon, it will keep going. Now just give the proper password. It is saying password. To reset, we have to go to some file and do something. It's very complicated job. We can do. It's not like impossible. It's completely that replacement. Forgot password. Password. It will say go to some file. Edit there. Save that file. Then you have to come back. Is it done? Done. At the end, one semicolon is there, okay? So, yeah. Exactly as it is. Okay. Now let's create a table. Now database is created. Now in one system, as I said, in one system many databases will be there. Now you have to get inside that database. This is created. Now you have to get inside this database. To get inside /c and whatever your database name is. Okay. In my case, it's /c test project. Should get something like you are now connected to the database. same only. You never open detail. Suddenly this is files. Almost 95% same only. 90% same only. Yes, it's done. Any issues? Is it done? Yeah. Now we are inside that database. Inside database, what we should do? I mean, if you want to check what all tables do I have, then this is the command. Okay. /dt. /dt will give list of tables. Right now there is no tables. That's why nothing. Okay. Now if you want to create a table, open this file in VS Code, everyone. Open this file. Now create a database. Okay, before we build any system, first thing you should do is defining the tables, what all fields I need, what all tables I need, how they are connected. This is how you build the system from scratch. I personally do very first job, what I do is I create a tables, how they are connected and all. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I might take 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks for just for defining the tables, how they are connected, because system will be huge, right? Now keep this thing in mind. Writing code, creating API is not at all a big deal. It's just a 1 or 2%. This will only come with practice. Creating the table, creating the ER diagram. This is a huge task. If you are able to do this now, then you can say you are a good engineer. Unless, no, you are not. You have to, from scratch, you have to collect all the requirement gathering and create this ER diagram. How each tables are connected, what each table field should have, how one table is connected to different tables, what kind of relationship it should have. I will say mainly two relationships. One is one-to-one relationship, okay? One-to-one. Second is one-to-many or foreign key relation. Can anyone give an example for one-to-one relation? Two different tables. One row of one table should have exactly one row of another table. There should be minimum two tables. Table 1, table 2. The relationship between rows should be exactly 1-to-1. Any example? One second. Employment table and department table. Yes, correct. To check whether this is correct or not, Just ask question yourself. Can one employee have multiple departments? Ask this question to yourself. Can one employee be in multiple departments? If it is possible, then this is wrong. I am assuming one employee can stay at one department. Engineer should be in engineering department. HR should be in people and culture department. Okay. So this is how I am assuming. So one employee can be in one department only. Yeah. So any other example? Yeah. Any other examples? Yeah. Food store. Yes. No, yeah. I mean, anything more strict. Let's say one person and passport relation. One person can have at least one passport. At most one passport. Person and Aadhaar card. Yeah. Any more such example? ID will come under student only. It's not a different table. Yeah. Okay. So now this is a example for one-to-one relation. And we have one more relation called one-to-many. This is like two different tables. Table 1, table 2. In this, once again. In this table, many rows will be there. In this table, many rows will be there. One row can have a relationship with multiple rows. Any such example? One teacher, student, right? One student can have multiple. It will come under many to many. Will this one teacher will teach multiple. One second. One student will teach. Sorry, one teacher will teach to many students. I mean, we can break down as one to many, but still. Student can. We can say that, but still it is a bigger example for many to many relation. We can break down and bring it to one to many. So your teacher, student, right?
Yes.
One teacher will be teaching to multiple students. One student will be having multiple teachers also, right? One student, if you are in the multiple batches, then you are having multiple teachers also. I won't take that example.
One table for car and another table for functionality.
Car and?
Of that
Okay. We can say that. Any other good example? Customer? Orders. Customer and orders. Yes, we can say. I mean, this one to many and many to many somewhat connected. I personally don't write many to many relation. I will break down into one to many. Okay. Because writing code for many to many in Django feels difficult. One good example I will say, question and options. One question will be having 4 options. I will put all the options in one table. I will put all the questions in one table. How will I connect to them? One question will be having exactly 4 options. So this is one of the examples. And one test will be having, this is a different table, okay. Table 3 is a test. Test will be 1, but it will be having multiple questions. Any doubts? Test will be 1, it will have many questions. For one question will be 1, options will be many. So such kind of relation we can say one to many or foreign key relation. So here we have few tables. We have a user table. We have a test table. We have a questions table. Now options, submissions. Okay. Now how these tables are connected, we can say. We can keep. Let's start the story from here, user table, okay. Let's start from here. In user, 2 types of user will be there, that will come under attribute, I will say. Student is a different type of user type, teachers is a different type of user type, okay. So if I say user, I will be having, I will keep 5 attributes for that. ID will be compulsory, I will have ID, primary key, and name will be there. Email I will take, password I will take, user type, this is very important, okay. I will say what are those keyword means, user type, or I will say role only. Here, when I say ID, I have to give some constraint to that, I have to give some rule to that. What I am saying is, I want ID as integer and explain the data type. Also this is just remember this, okay. If I want to make ID as a unique incrementing primary key, then this is the keyword in the Postgres, generated always as identity. Just remember this thing. Then you have to say this field is a primary key using that primary key keyword. Then in name, if you see varchar, name like a string, 100 is like a maximum character allowed. Not null means when I create that row, in a table, I want few fields as a not null. I can't say that I will give this value later. For example, student submitted the test. While submitting, it's not mandatory. I will say I don't want marks exactly at that moment while creation. I will say marks I will give later. So such kind of field I will say I can make it as a null at that moment while creation. But if I need few fields exactly while creation only, then I have to say it as a not null. What I am saying is, while creating I want this value, mandatorily I want this value. It's not like optional. I want this value, that's it. If I want such type of fields, then I will say not null. Okay. Email, again same thing, but I want it as unique. In the entire table, email should be unique. To make it unique means you know, right? Same shouldn't repeat in that table. Password, same thing. In role, I am saying one more keyword called default. If I don't give a value while creation, it will take default value as student. That's it. Okay. So in user table, these many fields are enough. And to create test, I need one more table to create test. In test, what all things will be there? ID will be there for sure. I need title also. I need created by ID. I want to say who created it. So this created by ID, I connect this table to that user table. This field I want to connect with user table. How do I do that? I will say this is the syntax for that. Constraint, that is the keyword. Name whatever you want to give, for that constraint you can give. I am saying it's a foreign key relation I want. Because how these are connected? Test and user. Here foreign key relation means in one table primary key will be there. This is primary key. This is primary key in this table, but this is foreign key. The meaning of foreign key is this key is a primary key of different table. That is the meaning of foreign key. Here I store this value. So that is the meaning of foreign key. Any doubts? In every table, primary key will be there. That is by default ID. If I want to connect different table, then I have to have one more field called foreign key. This foreign key will store primary key of different table. Foreign key will store primary key of different table. Then you can say these two tables are connected. Okay. So this is the syntax. I am saying for this key, I want foreign key relation created by ID. This and 14 line should match. This is the keyword references. These are all things to remember. That's it. Okay. References for what? Users. Users is a table name. If you see, this and this should match exactly as it is. This is a table name. In that table, for which key you want to connect? ID. This ID and this ID should match. This is a syntax to remember. Okay. Yes, it's a bigger concept. I will explain now. Till now, any doubts? So this is a syntax to remember. User table is created. Now you are creating test table. If you want to connect test table with user table, then this is the syntax. Constraint is a keyword. Any name you want to give. Foreign key is a keyword. You have to mention for which key you want to. For which column you want to add as a foreign key. we are measuring this field. Then references, this is a keyword, this is a table name, in that table which ID. Now these two are connected. Okay, you have to remember the syntax. Yeah. Here is published is a boolean value. Default value I am giving as false. Here you can't give 0 and 1 like MySQL. It should be either true, either false. That's it. Okay. So now comes one more concept called cascade delete. This concept is very important in terms of Django. Okay. Cascade delete. So I will simplify things. When I say cascade delete, so do you know what is the meaning of cascade? No idea? Any idea? Cascade, meaning of the word cascade?
Styling.
No.
Something on CSS.
Why CSS is named as cascading?
Step by step flow.
Hierarchy, yes.
Inline, internal, external.
No, that's not the meaning of. See, CSS is named as cascading for one reason, because in CSS the things are in a tree structure. One entire star will be there. In that head will come, body will come. In that footer will come. In that body, multiple elements will come. Inside div, multiple div will be there. So if you see, it's a tree structure, right? You give one behavior for this, automatically it will give behavior for its child also. If you give this background color as blue, whatever child will become blue. So step by step hierarchy is there. So that is the meaning of cascade. If you touch one thing, multiple things will be affected. Right? One thing is dependent on another thing thing is dependent on another thing. If one fails, everything fails. So such kind of connection is called cascading connection. Okay. For example, now I'm inside the VS Code. Okay. Now to run the VS Code, to run the code, I need VS Code. One connection is there. To run VS Code, I need internet connection, another connection. To run VS Code, I need a laptop to be working. To run laptop to be working, charge should be there. To run the charge, I need electricity. Electricity is down, everything is down. Nothing can work. So that kind of effect is cascading effect. Okay. So here, when I say cascade delete, here user is connected to test. User is connected to test. For test, user is like a parent. Okay. If I delete this user, test will also be deleted. So that's what I am saying. For when I have this relation, when I do on delete, when I delete, parent, child also dies. That's the meaning of cascading delete. If I delete user, test also will go. If I delete test, questions will be go. If I delete question, options will be gone. So that is cascading effect. So here I am explicitly telling, when I delete, what should happen? So definitely I might be having another option, either cascading and what else? One of the option is cascade, another option is set null, another option is protect. These three things you have to remember in terms of Django, okay? Cascade, I said parent gone, child also will be gone. If I delete parent on the second option, if I have set null, if I delete parent, what should happen to child? What I will do is, this foreign key I will make it as null, that's it. I won't delete this. This is gone. But what will I show here? I don't even have foreign key to show. What should happen? Instead of deleting this, make it as null. That is what this relation means. Protect means, unless you delete a child, you can't delete a parent. That is protection. If I do on delete protect, then I am saying you cannot delete this one. You have a child connected to it. First, if you want to delete the child. Then I will delete. That's what it is. So mostly you will be using this only, cascade delete. You delete one thing, everything will be gone, which are connected. Okay. So that's what cascading delete means. Similarly, we have questions. Question is connected to what? This is connected to this. Question is connected to test. Options will be connected to questions. Submission will be connected to user and test. If you see submission table, question and option is easy, very straightforward. If you see submission table, it is connected to two different tables. In submission, we should say which student is submitted this and which test is submitted, right? That's why in this table it has two different connections. One is with user, one is with test. Okay. Now copy this thing and paste it here. Copy and paste it here. Yeah, copy that creation.sql. Copy entire thing and paste it there. After that, open this and refresh this. Inside this, go to schemas, go to tables. Should be able to see 5 tables there. Yeah, is it coming? Now table is created. Just if you want to see your table, visualize your table. Click on the table and click on this button, all rows. Click on any table and click on this button. You will see nothing. Okay. Or else you can click on this query tool and write the query. Select star from this and that. Now let's fill the data to all the tables. Go to this file, Control A, Control C, go to command line, okay, paste it here and refresh the tables. Yeah, try that. Yeah, any issues? Let's continue the class, okay? Don't close. Let's continue 30 minutes more. I mean, if anyone wants to leave, you can leave. I have few more things to explain. If you have any urgency, you can leave. Yeah. So as you can see here, this is like free playground, okay? Whatever you want to write query, you can write here and hit this button, execute script. So mostly you as a developer will be using this tool very often. In every day you will be using this tool. So you should be very much familiar with this tool, okay? In this, no need to know everything, all these things. Just know that this is how you list the servers which are connected. In this I have different databases. These are all remote databases, okay? This is somewhere in the AWS. It's not in my system. You can connect that also. If you want to connect with your local, this is how you connect. You enter the password. You get list of databases. If something is not coming, which is already done through command prompt, just right click and refresh. That's it. It will come. Okay. These are different databases. Right now I am dealing with this one. You can ignore all these things. Schemas is important. Under schema, your tables will be there. So this is where your tables will be. In each table, if you want to see the data, all the data, just click on this button, all rows. Okay? Then you can see this. The thing is, you can edit this also, here only. If you click on this pencil or double tap, you can edit and save it. Okay? Most likely they won't give the edit access to you in the company. They will just give the view access, or if it is development mode or in the lower environment, they will give, but the production database you won't be able to touch it. Okay, only the senior people will be using it. So you cannot edit it, and yeah, yeah.
There is one syntax to edit anything.
Syntax to
Edit anything.
In
Or
what-
editing anything. Talking about
update value. Here we can do double tap and update. Okay. For example, if I want to edit this question, if I want to put any question mark here, I can do that. Is that what you are asking, or something?
He's talking about DML.
Talking about?
Insert MySQL.
Ah,
We are using that some syntax
okay.
for updating anything.
Through that also you can do, command line also.
Okay.
Through command line also we can do.
Or else by using this, we will use MySQL.
No, this is completely different database. PostgreSQL. It has nothing to do with MySQL. Almost 90% commands will be same only. But these are different two databases.
But that MySQL is easier.
I mean, I don't see whether easy or tough. This is where what the industry uses the most. That's why I'm teaching
This
this.
is
Yeah, everywhere where you go, Postgres is used. So if you have Postgres in your resume, it's like a higher privilege. So previously in the syllabus, it was mentioned as MySQL. I only changed it because nobody uses it. Everyone uses this. This is open source also. Open source. Yeah, open source. I mean, MySQL is open source, but this being so many features are there in this compared to MySQL. So many things are there.
Yes, sir, there is more features.
Yeah. So most of them uses this only. And in AWS database service RDS, this is easy to connect. And for this Django also, they are highly compatible. Multiple reasons are there. Not only Django, you take any Java, Spring Boot, anything. Good connectivity with the Postgres. So you won't regret learning this. That's what I can guarantee. You won't regret. Okay. Now creation is done. Now try different queries inside this query tool. See what all outputs you get. Open that file. Try different queries. And also we did not add any submission. Before that, do this. Okay. Copy this. Go to command line. I'm adding one submission. Open submission. All rows. You will see. Yeah. Okay. In this query, there is one feature called now function. What it does is it will take the current time and it will give it to submitted it. If you see what is the data type of this submitted it, you can go to creation. Submitted it is a timestamp. Okay. You see date and time both. That's what the timestamp holds. You see up till multiple microseconds, right? So that's what now function is doing. This one. I'm not getting very depth into these queries. As you said, you have different class for SQL. Just paste it. You can either paste it here or either you can paste it in pgadmin here. If you want to test cascade delete is happening or not, try this. Try this. If you delete test, questions, options, submission, everything will be deleted. Just delete this one, everything else will be deleted. Any doubts, any errors? Let's do one deletion and let's see what happens. So this is before deletion. I have all the data in the tables. Okay. Now let me delete it. Delete the test. Okay. I deleted the test. As I said, these foreign keys have one rule, that is on delete cascade, right? So now if I paste, I see nothing. I see nothing. Everything gone, right? That's what on delete cascade does. So you have to be very careful. Any doubts? Right, if nobody has any doubts, you can